So good morning. I sprayed that really weirdly, didn't I? But there's a reason for that. This is a 300 ml bottle, 300 millilitres of fragrance. That is unbelievable. So yes, it is time for another fitness fragrance review. And which one am I doing today? Well, I've mentioned this one a few times, and the problem is I don't really know how to pronounce it because it's a Brazilian brand, I believe. But it's Granado, Limão Néroli. Essentially, I'm just going to call it Granado Néroli today because that is what it is. This is essentially a heavy Néroli type fragrance. It is freezing outside, by the way, so this is kind of more of a summer based fragrance, but it's so light, it's so easy to wear that I thought I'd still do a review on it today because it's quite suitable for this type of season as well. I love Néroli, one of my favourite notes. But yeah, essentially, if you haven't seen these before, my fitness fragrance reviews, essentially what I do is I do a morning workout. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for a run, I'm going to walk to the gym, do a gym workout, and then head home, all while wearing this fragrance. I'm going to rank it on 5 categories. So it's price/value for money, versatility, its projection, how it lasts during a run, and I'll do a spray test in my room to see how much it fills up the room. We'll look at compliment factor, so if I think it can get compliments, if I've had compliments with it, and then we'll finish with longevity, where I'll put it through a shower test and we'll smell my arm after a few hours since I've been at the gym to see if you can still smell it. This is an eau de cologne, so this is kind of one of those sort of things. It almost acts like a bit of a splash. Eau de cologne is essentially the kind of weakest form of fragrance, so yeah, I'm not expecting it to be a real strong performance today, but because it's cold, you never know, maybe it'll last a little bit longer. But before we go for a run, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just quickly go through the note breakdown about this fragrance. Obviously, as we said, Néroli is going to play a prominent role in this breakdown. So I've got the note breakdown in front of me. So the top notes are Tahiti lemon. So essentially that's where that first part of the name comes. Bright, zesty citrus burst. You definitely get this. I thought there was actually a bit of lime in this, but actually I think it's the zestiness coming from the lemon. This kind of little fizziness that kind of is blended very well with the Néroli. You've then got mandarin orange. Again, I feel like this mandarin orange is a very unripened one. It's not really juicy. It's not juicy at all, but maybe you get a bit of greenness from that sort of lack of ripeness there, but it offers a softer, sweeter citrus lift according to the note breakdown. Néroli, though also in the heart, its presence up front gives a floral citrus sparkle. So actually this is in 2 parts of the phrase, because if we go into the middle note, you've also got Néroli again, white floral, delicate, fresh. That's what I'm getting from it. If I'm getting anything from that Néroli, it's that sort of white floral type note. If you've had Acqua di Parma Essenza, it's very much in that sort of mould of, yeah, how Néroli's been utilised here. Lavender, I don't really get that lavender, but it is quite clean. And lavender is always a clean note, so maybe the lavender is bringing a bit of cleanness with this, bit of a washing type smell. But I do think the petitgrain is probably the main thing here that I'm noticing in, in contrast, in conjunction, I should say, with the Néroli. Green, leafy, slightly bitter, fresh nuance from orange blossom tree. So I think it is that greenness coming, maybe that lime sort of thing I'm getting with the Néroli. It's coming from the petitgrain. And then in the base, you've got the musk, amber, and cedarwood. Don't get any wood type sort of vibe to this at all. I get very much just a very clean washing sort of scent, and Néroli is that prominent note that you're picking up from it. So yeah, that's the vibe. Easy to wear, easy to put off, sort of thing you'd sort of wear when you come out of the shower. And if you just want a little bit of a top up through the day just to smell clean and fresh. So that's what I'm getting. Let's talk about the bottle now. Yes, this is 300 millilitres. It may not look that big, but if I grab, let's see if I've got a small fragrance I can just quickly show you. Here we go. That's a 30 ml, that's a 300 ml. So it's 10 times bigger in terms of volume than the Baronda I just had there. So obviously with that, normally I talk about how easy a fragrance is to hold when we talk about the bottle. This isn't easy to hold at all, as you can imagine, but you can get this in 100 ml, which is a standard type size. But yeah, with this one, I almost have to hold it underneath to spray it. However, the atomizer, which is the all important thing, sprays very well. Very cheap lid, considering it's quite, unknown, but I just think it could have done with a little bit more. Now, obviously, in relation to the bottle, it doesn't look too wrong. It's quite a clear sort of juice. I like the sticker on the front. There's quite a lot going on there. Sort of gives you that vibe that you're going to be out in a garden. If you've seen any Granado fragrances, they tend to have that kind of vibe to them, that sort of uniform type look. Absolutely fine by me. As I said, ultimately what matters to me is how it smells. And the ones I've tried in Liberty in London, which is where I bought this fragrance, they all perform absolutely fine in terms of, there's no issues with the atomizer or the quality of the bottle. And yeah, that's all I can say with it. I haven't judged those ones enough. I am going to get some more of these. But yeah, what we're going to do now, I'm going to head out for a run. We'll put a bit more of this spray on, and then we'll talk about the first two categories, which is price/value for money and versatility. So yeah, how's it going to perform today at 50? It's going to be interesting. I really don't know. I've not worn this enough, even though it's gone down a lot. I've had this for a good few years. So yeah, I'm going to really put it through its paces today. Wow, it is cold this morning. It is 5 Celsius, which I'm not used to. I don't like the cold that much. But the clocks went back, so I'm filming this Sunday morning. The clocks went back last night, so 4:15 I woke up this morning getting ready to go. I thought it might be a little bit too early, so it's 7 o'clock now. But the mornings are of course a lot lighter, but what a lovely day. So price/value for money. So you would have just seen two prices essentially. One for the 100ml of this Granado Néroli fragrance, and one for the 300ml. And that is on their website. So you're talking £60 for 100ml, 95 for 300. So do I think that's good value for money? Well, in terms of the actual smell, yes, I have to say the smell of this is brilliant. You know, when I talk about their sort of citrus fragrances, Acqua di Parma, they smell so natural, high quality oils. This is right up there. This is right up there with some of those best sort of niche fragrances in terms of the citrus. Not synthetic at all, well blended, high quality. You can tell this hasn't been cheaply made, and that's probably reflected in the price. Now, again, if I was blindfolded, I would say, yeah, this is a higher end fragrance. The problem I have in terms of the price, certainly for the 100ml, is it's not really anything special. It's not a strong performer, which we'll obviously find out a little bit later. I don't feel like it's a strong performer because it's an eau de cologne. It feels very much when you just apply, you know, just to top yourself up. And it's quite linear. I said it's just sort of flat out Néroli, but it hasn't got that real depth about it like the Acqua di Parma fragrance, which actually is quite strong. So yeah, for me, it's just maybe when I look at sort of fragrances that I want to spend more money on, I want a bit more. I want a bit more with the sort of type of fragrance, particularly more of a winter type fragrance. It's sweeter, a bit of vanilla, a few more heavier woods, whether that's booze and stuff as well. This is just a very safe citrus, and you can pay for that with like £5-10 for a lot of fragrances. Yeah, they're not as good, but if you're going for just that clean vibe, I don't think I'd want to spend £60 on it, that's for sure. That being said, £90 for 300ml, or £95, £31 sort of per 100ml, yeah, definitely, you know, that is a really good price. That's a really good price for the quality of this. If it was 100ml for that £30, rather than having to pay 60, you know, if it was the 300ml price per 100ml, if you know what I'm on about, then I'd go, yeah, that's great value for money. But yeah, just for me, it just doesn't have enough complexity for that. But if you want quality citrus and quality clean fragrance, this does the job brilliantly. So I can't fault it down too much in that sense. So what would I give it then as a score? Oh. All things considered, I think the 300ml is great value for money. I think the 100ml isn't. So I'm going to give it a 7. I think a lot of people will feel a bit underwhelmed paying that sort of price if you were going for the real, you know, if you wanted something that was a bit of a showstopper. You're not getting that with this. This is just clean, mass pleasing, easy to wear. But I would want a little bit more complexity if I'm spending that much for 100ml. But yeah, 300ml, go for it. I'd be more than happy to buy it again. Anyway, on to versatility. Okay then, apologies for my running nose, it is freezing. So versatility, how much can you dress it up, dress it down, different ages, male, female, different occasions, all those things. So, I do want to say first of all, it's definitely completely unisex, this one. And I'd say it's straight down the middle. Now, I obviously compared it a little bit to Colonia Essenza by Acqua di Parma earlier. That one though, I think is a little bit more soapy than this one. I'll go back to this is very much citrus, with that sort of fizzy green sort of vibe. Mixed with that Néroli, but you do get vibes of both, you know, they're very similar, and obviously that's a unisex fragrance as well. So again, these sort of notes are very much common in male and female fragrances. Now, because the quality of it is so good, and you know, I feel like it's blended so well, the oils are high quality, a younger person may not really appreciate this. So I'd probably say it gets very easy to wear because it's not a strong performer and it's light fragrance notes, it's an eau de cologne. You could put it off if you wanted to at any age, but I think just the quality of it will probably make it more 20 and up to any age as well there. I really do believe that. Yeah, it's not maybe going to be true for sort of macho alpha male people who like your Aramis's and smoky fragrances, but you know, it's absolutely fine. Now, again, where it is a bit more subtle, and it's the sort of fragrance where I feel like it's the person who doesn't really want to be noticed, just wants to sort of hide at the back, which is fine, which is definitely me. You know, I feel like you wouldn't really dress this one up. You know, you could, again, it's a very fake fragrance. These sort of notes are used in a lot of, you know, versatile type fragrances, so it's never going to be wrong for any occasion, but I think in that situation, yeah, I wouldn't really wear it in like a formal event. It's just not, I quite like the boozy, heavier, sweeter notes for that. But I think this is best suited for those sort of casual summer days, hot day, you just want to top yourself up with something that smells quite pleasant to top yourself. And it's more for you than anyone else, I would say. But you can definitely dress it up smart because it's quality. And again, you can certainly wear it with like a, you know, a white t-shirt and things like that. So no worries with that at all. So it's quite versatile of age, pretty versatile with season, pretty versatile with occasions as well. And what I would say is the one positive, I've obviously mentioned the bottle. 300ml is going to be too much normally. Even I like big bottles, but even I think that's a lot. You normally get sick of a fragrance, but because this is very light and very subtle, you know, very refreshing, almost like clean laundry, I'm not too worried. I'm never going to get sick of it. So versatility is pretty good on this one. As I said, different ages, all those things that we can sometimes consider, you know, can be quite different, particularly with those heavier ones. This isn't. So I think probably in terms of the score for this, I'm going to give it 8.5. I think that's a pretty decent score. As I said, the only thing it might be, a really younger person might find it's just a little bit too sophisticated because it's quite quality, not as juvenile, not as playful, not as synthetic essentially. And then an older person, older male might just think, I want it to have a little bit more complexity to, you know, compared to what I'm used to. I like heavier, sweeter, boozier things, but it's very good and it certainly can be used in any situation in my opinion. Right, let's get this run done. We are back, 13 miles done. I actually felt pretty good considering I didn't go until 10 o'clock last night. So if you haven't seen this before, I'm going to do projection now. Essentially, I'm going to spray my room, close the door, pull the door to, see how much it fills up the room within sort of 10 minutes. And while I'll do in that 10 minutes, I'll head downstairs, have a cup of tea, orange apple, a couple of bits to eat, and just talk about the projection during my run. So I'm going to do, let's do 12 sprays. There we are. And we'll come up in 10 minutes and we'll just see how much this fills the room. Not expecting much, as you've already heard me say in this video. It's not a strong fragrance, so yeah, may not get the best score, but let's see. How did it do during my run? Time to find out. Oh, that's so nice. My hands are frozen. Green tea today. So, projection during my run. How did this fragrance do? Not great. I didn't notice it once during my run, and to be honest, the only time I kind of really noticed it was when I literally just buried my nose in it at the end like this. It's definitely still on my clothing, and again, I think that goes back to the quality here, and I'm wondering if longevity will do alright a little bit later on, but yeah, projection-wise, it doesn't kick off at all. This is very much close to your body, close to your skin or clothing, whatever you're wearing. Someone's going to need to be right next to you to really notice this. You have to look for the fragrance, it won't look for you, essentially. But it got me thinking, actually, during my run. Obviously, I'm saying how bad that is, but I almost wonder if maybe that's why they do 300ml bottles. Because I think you could spray, I think I sprayed this 8 times before I left the run. If you sprayed this 50, 60 times, literally 50, 60 times all over you, I don't think it's ever going to like choke anyone out or yourself. That's what, you know, from what I gather, it's never going to be too strong. It's very light. It's almost a see-through fragrance. And as I said, it's not going to choke you or anyone in the office. So don't worry about spraying it loads. If you get a 300ml bottle, I think that's fine. I think that's why the company have done it. Because if I think about it, I bought the 300ml bottle over the 100ml bottle. And that was because, yeah, it's £30 more, which the company began brilliant, £30 more. And I'm looking at thinking, wow, for 100ml of this 300ml, but I'm paying £30. If I paid 100ml just for a 100ml bottle, it'd be 60, double per mil essentially. So maybe they know that, maybe they're aware of that, and that's absolutely fine. This is probably what the fragrance is meant to be. High quality, we know it's not a strong performer. You can spray a bit more, which may make it last a bit longer, but also it's a 300ml bottle, so go ahead and just spray as much as you like. And you get in, as I said, per mil, £30. There's not many £30 fragrances that I think have this quality and that citrus type vibe. You can get cheap citrus fragrances, which will do those jobs of smelling clean. If you want that little bit more quality per mil, this one certainly has it. It's definitely got that more niche quality about it. But yeah, projection wasn't good during a run. Be fine in a more indoors environment. I'm interested to see how it does at the gym a little bit today. But yeah, outside cold weather today hasn't done well. But what I'll do, I'll finish my cup of tea and yeah, we'll go upstairs in a couple of minutes and we'll see if it has filled up a room. Maybe it'll prove me wrong in that score. Just finished my cup of tea. It's time to go upstairs. My nose is still running. So cold today. So cold. See my brother's towels. Look how colourful they are. Right, so top of the stairs, I can't smell it. I don't expect to smell it until I'm literally in the room, if at all. Really do. Right. See how we go. Well, I can tell you one good thing. I can smell it. It's very light. We're probably more than I thought. I'll be honest. It's probably 15 to 20%. And we're only talking 10 minutes. This is going to be gone in 20 minutes time. Half an hour, I think this fragrance is gone. But it's, again, as we said, it's very easy to just spray loads of this, apply more. And I think it will, you know, get noticed a little bit then. But what you'd almost want, the way I see it, if anyone's going to notice this in terms of the projection, or you're going to notice it, you're going to have to spray it a lot. You're going to have to apply it a lot. And they're almost going to have to be close to you. So they're almost, say you're sitting at a desk on a computer and someone comes over and says, oh, can we just work together on this thing? And then they come next to you, they might go, oh yeah, you smell nice. That's the only sort of time I think you'll notice it. You said, you're not going to walk past someone, they're going to go, oh, what was that? That was really nice, that smell. It's not that fragrance, but that's fine. You're not going to carry a 300ml bottle though, so it's not going to be very easy to transport. But if you had a little, you know, sample bottle or something like that, it would be pretty good, a little travel one. So what score would I give for this? Oh, I don't want to be too harsh on it because I know that it's not meant. If this was an odor parfum and it was meant to be strong, then fine. But none of the Granado ones that I've smelled as, you know, tester in a shop have been strong. But I've got to rank it compared to everything else, and it's not about me. It's about what I think people would buy. So I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. That's really harsh. I've had some that I've probably given a higher score for that haven't performed as, you know, met my expectations any more than this one. But it's, yeah, it's not good. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just, it is what it is. It's that sort of fragrance. But anyway, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to spray my arms, and then we'll talk about compliment factor though. I've obviously said the projection's not great, but is it a fragrance that I think you can get compliments? Have I had a compliment on it? Because it's a bigger bottle, again, and I'm allowed to waste a bit more because I've, you know, got a bigger one, and it's my money at the end of the day. We'll do 10 sprays on each. Okay then, so compliment factor. So what are my experiences with this fragrance? Well, first of all, I would wear this for compliment, but I never have done. And that is simply just because of the performance, as you probably expect. But in terms of the scent, this is as easy to pull off as any blue fragrance, anything like that. You can wear it at the gym, you can wear it for a job interview, you can wear it for a date, you can wear it for going out with friends, all those things. It will do all those jobs. So in that sense, yeah, it's got that versatility, it's got that, you know, mass appeal. I don't think there's, to be honest with you, there'd be anyone that would say I don't like this, because it's just got that mass appeal. It's got so many easy light notes that are in multiple male and female fragrances. The citrus notes, a bit of musk, lavender, you know, some of the woodsy notes. Yes, I don't detect them, but they're in there, and they're on the whole very mass pleasing. So yeah, this is a mass pleasing scent, and it will get you confidence. I think if you use it right, and yeah, you may need to spray a little bit more. But if I said you know you're going to be in an intimate setting where someone's going to be very close to you, then this will be absolutely fine. But I think more importantly, because of the fact it isn't the strongest, wear it for you. Wear it for you because you like it, because it's clean and it's nice and it's safe and easy to wear. You're never going to get bored of it. You're probably never going to love it, but again, a lot of compact sort of fragrances tend to be those easy to wear, versatile, do it all type scents, and yeah, this does exactly that. So yeah, the only reason I would mark it down is just because it doesn't perform well, but that's what you'd expect with the notes that are in this. So what would I then give it as a score? Again, you'd never feel uncomfortable wearing this. I've had some that I wear that I like, that I know other people maybe wouldn't like. Some people might love it, some people might hate it. This one I think is just very much going to be easy for it. It's going to be a little bit forgettable, maybe. That's probably the word I'd say. So I'm going to give it 6.5. I think that's it. It will get compliments if you know how to wear it and when to wear it and where to wear it. You know the right setting for it. You'll certainly get some good, good feedback on it. And yeah, of course, if we get any at the gym today, as I always say, which isn't the worst place to try it, I'll ramp it up to a 10. But yeah, I'm not expecting much on it today. Workout done. Look at my hair. Honestly, that looks a mess, doesn't it? No compliments. But actually, I can smell the fragrance pretty well. Again, I do think that the sort of longevity on this might be alright. I think it might even do alright through the shower test, and it's certainly transferred onto my sort of long sleeves as well. It smells really good. I love Néroli, one of my top 5 favourite notes. Super nice. But yeah, now it's time to have a shower. Let's see how long it lasts. Fingers crossed it'll do alright in this one. It has just gone 12 o'clock, so normality resumed for this fitness fragrance review today. No armed police. Time to see how long, or how strong the fragrance is. It's been 3 hours since I applied it. Has it survived the shower? Yes, a little bit. I'd probably say 30 to 40%. It was definitely stronger as I went in, but again, I expect this. This is a kind of light fragrance, but considering how poor the performance is, in terms of what I've noticed in projection today, it's actually got good staying power. And again, I think it goes back to the quality of the oils in this, and it's one of them. You probably see in a lot of my videos and stuff, I don't tend to spray on me, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One is obviously like your top and stuff's covering most of your skin anyway, and two, the bits that are exposed, so your neck and behind your ears and all those things, you can get quite a lot of spots because the skin's slightly different, and also with exercise and stuff, the sweat can make it sting. So that's why I spray my clothes a lot. But I think this is one I'd quite happily wear on my skin. It feels quite soft, quite light, and I think it would have that little bit more projection alongside the longevity. I still think I'd want to reapply it, but I don't think I'd have to feel like I need to reapply every hour, or it's gone every half an hour. So that's not bad. Let me just give it one more smell, just to... And it hasn't really changed in terms of like the smell of it, in terms of on your skin. It's definitely got more of a zesty lemon sort of smell to it with that Néroli than the sort of soapiness from a Cologne Pura from Acqua di Parma. A Cologne Essenza, I should say. So what can I give it as a score? Again, I've got to compare it to what else I have. Oh. And obviously I got quite warm at the gym. I'm going to give it... We'll give it a 6. I think it's better than what you'd sometimes get with a lot of eau de cologne. That's what I would say, actually, because of, I think, the quality of it. I think the longevity is actually better than a lot of the eau de colognes I've had. And I think I'll still be able to smell it when I get home. So it'd be interesting in about an hour and a half or so after I've had my lunch when I do my sort of final scores. But yeah, I'll give it a 6. Again, it's not up there with any, top fragrances. I'm saying 30 to 40%, 40% being quite high. We're probably talking more 30%, but yeah, it's still there and it's lasted 3 hours on my skin, so that's not too bad, is it really, with all the exercise? We are back. I've got my lovely warm hoodie on, as always, and I have managed to do this morning 36,627 steps, all while wearing this fragrance here. So Granado, Néroli. I won't try and butcher the name now because I'm sure I'll get it wrong. So what was the total score it got out of 50? 31 out of 50. And that, I have to say, is one of my lowest scores in recent times. And yeah, I haven't been too dismissive of it really today, have I? I'm quite surprised the score is so low. But the reason it just hasn't quite got those top ones is because, the top scores. It's because it obviously, as we've mentioned, the performance isn't great and it's quite a linear fragrance. But I do want to now give it its flowers essentially, because this is a brilliant, brilliant fragrance. This smells absolutely amazing. There's some fragrances that have got higher scores than this, which I'll be honest with you, I won't buy again. I'd happily get this one again. It's been quite a busy week for me. That's why I'm filming these videos a little bit far in advance. What I found with this is a very, very calming fragrance. And it's one that I honestly, and I know it hasn't got the highest score today, it's one that I would recommend people could just blind buy. It's got enough about it. It's so safe, so linear. But it's the quality for me. It is a real, real quality fragrance. If you like Note and Néroli, you're just going to love this one. It is a beautiful Néroli fragrance. It smells like, anything that could compete with an Acqua di Parma in terms of its, how natural it smells. Doesn't burn your nostrils. And it will just do all the jobs that you can expect in a sort of general citrus fragrance, a blue fragrance. It's just literally been marked down purely on the fact it does not last. But that being said, for 4.5 hours since I actually applied it originally before I went to the gym, it's still just about hanging on. So yeah, what I like, you can get a 300ml bottle, you can go a little bit heavier on the spray. It's never going to choke anyone out. It's never going to do, it's never going to be something that I think people go, oh, that's too much, that's too strong. It's safe, it's easy to pull off. It works in pretty much any situation you like. I just think sometimes you can get a lot of cheap, easy to wear fragrances. I like Brut Original. It does smell a bit old school. This doesn't. This smells absolutely modern and classy. But it will do those jobs. It will make you smell clean. And I just don't want to spend that high price normally on a fragrance like this. But 300ml, I can probably sort of get away with it for £95. That 100ml, though, £60, I'd stay clear. But yeah, brilliant fragrance. It's quite cold outside today, so it's not necessarily a fragrance you think you really want to wear in this way. You might want something a bit sweeter, but it works absolutely fine. Completely versatile, completely unisex. And yeah, as I said, don't want that score, which, it's not a bad score, let's be honest. But I don't want anyone to think this is a bad fragrance, because I definitely recommend it. If anyone said try it, go to Liberty in London. That's where you can try all these ones from Granado. They do plenty in there. I like the Magnolia one, more feminine, that one, but it's a very, very nice fragrance. So yeah, great fragrance. If you love Néroli, absolutely go for it. I completely recommend it as well. But if you want something that just projects a little bit more, go for something a bit, a little bit more heavy on the notes, let's say. But yeah, great fragrance, very relaxing, very calming, very mass pleasing. And yeah, I'm going to enjoy wearing it for the rest of today anyway.